All right. First of all, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you, Stewart, spending some time with us this morning. To all the media who are here, I am recording, but if you need permission to record, go ahead and shoot me a note and I'll grant that permission before we start questions. So, Stewart, we were just kind of talking just a little bit about the Camping World Truck Series returning this weekend at Martinsville. So maybe fill us in a little bit on how you've been staying busy and ready in what was a little bit of a break since the last race a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so I guess since Talladega, the last 3 weeks, we've been really busy up here in the Northeast with our big block modified team. We ran Super Dirt Week at Oswego, the 200 there, and we ran Port Royal, another 200 in Pennsylvania with the Short Track Super Series. And then we just finished up the Eastern States 200 this past weekend at Orange County Fair Speedway in New York, right outside New York City. So the last 3 weeks have been the busiest of the season for the dirt modified world. So we're getting a little bit of breather now, going back NASCAR racing, and looking forward to that.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. We're going to go to questions, and we will work to get in as many questions as we can in the time that we have. And to kick us off, we're going to go to Bob Pockers. Bob, go ahead with your question.
Yes, Stewart. What would it mean to make the championship four? I mean, for somebody like you who's, accomplished racer, been doing this for a few years, like, I don't know whether whether it's, if you don't make it, it's devastating or not, or what do you think it'd mean if you can make it?
It'd be very gratifying, not only for me, but for our entire race team. For where we were at the start of 2020, starting the new team, starting from the ground up with Halmar, with the support from TRD and the guys from Toyota, to where we are now, since the playoffs started, competing for top fives, which, building a championship winning team was the goal all along. And we knew it would take time. So I think we're probably a little bit ahead of realistically, the time it takes to build a championship team. So we've done a really good job. Our guys have done a really good job. Chris Larson with providing the equipment to do this. So we knew where we wanted to be, and we're there. And for us to make that championship four this year in our second full season would be really, really gratifying. If we don't, it is what it is. As long as we go to Martinsville and have a solid truck, kind of don't shoot ourselves in the foot. And if we put our cards on the table and it is what it is at the end of the day, and we don't make it, hey, at least we went down trying, and we'll be back again in 2022 to try again. If we do make that championship four, we're really excited about that. And, we have a good, package for Phoenix. We have good notes for Martinsville and Phoenix. But, I believe we have an outside shot at the championship. So we'll see what happens.
And NASCAR said that you're going to do the next gen test at, is it Wythe? I don't know how to pronounce the name of the track.
Withville.
Withville. And so, what would you? They haven't given us a date or anything when it's going to be, but what would you be looking for at a test like that? Like, what would you want? Either out of the tire or out of the car on a dirt track.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. First, it was really it caught me by surprise when Jerry from NASCAR called and let me know that they were looking at me to run that test. It's something that's really, really cool and something I'm really proud to do and try to help out with. We're still going to try to get back to Bristol in a cup car. However that may shake out this year, we haven't taken that off the map, but for them to ask me to do it was something that was really, really awesome. And I'm going to try my best to help in all aspects. It's primarily a tire test. So I believe, they'll have a bunch of different compounds. We'll run through some stuff. The engineers and all that will look at temps and wear. Withville, that the service there is a red clay service similar to what goes on Bristol. So I believe the aggregate in the clay and the abrasiveness, I should say, of the clay will be similar. So I think it'll be a pretty good test to see how the tires hold up. I had made one suggestion after Bristol and Knoxville that, I think the cars and trucks would race better on a harder tire, similar to what we used at Eldora. So we'll see what happens. We'll see, you know, what they bring, and then we'll try to, you know, go out there, run some laps, have some fun with it. Obviously, it's gonna be a pretty cool experience for me, and you know, hopefully give as much feedback as I can to NASCAR and Goodyear. You know, so ultimately we can have, you know, the best races at Bristol.
For most of the time we say, man, tires should be softer, right? We want more wear. So why would a harder tire be better?
Just because it would be less wear, it would be less demand on the racetrack. You know, a harder tire tends to polish up a dirt track more, so it gets more of a beat on the wall on the top and search for the moisture on the bottom, rather than just lay rubber and lock down, you know, kind of single file on the bottom, which kind of where Bristol went after so many laps. You know, after we pit and get tires, and you could race, you know, for 10-15 laps, and then the ends of the segments, it kind of just locked down on the bottom. So I think a harder tire will keep the track a little bit more polished up, and you know, let fans see a dirt race that they like to see, with cars beating the right rear off the fence, and then, you know, guys catfishing on the bottom and searching for that moisture to widen the track out, and not be so demanding on the track, and not, you know, break it apart and make the holes in the dust that we saw.
Thank you.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Zach Albert. Go ahead, Zach.
Great, thank you. Stewart, I was just checking to see, you know, coming into this -5 below the elimination line, are you going to be hoping to be kept apprised of like where you are running in the points, you know, because Creed and Crafton are fairly close right there above you. Are you going to hope to have some updates as the race kind of goes on? Yeah,
you know, a little bit. Jonathan Leonard, our crew chief, does a good job of that, you know, just kind of keeping the big picture in play. And that's a little bit, that's more for him to worry about during the race. I just get to go out there and race all these races as hard as I can, try to stay in the top 5 through both stages, and make some stage points. I think that's our goal. Make some stage points, have a little bit of a cushion, you know, going into the last stage when, you know, kind of all hell breaks loose in the truck races at Martinsville. So we'll watch the other guys. Obviously, I think, you know, everybody in the championship hunt or in the playoff hunt, I should say, is looking at stage points. You know, we have to race for stage points. We really can't afford to short pit and try to get that track position. We need to know some stage points first, and then race it at the end. So that being said, you know, you've seen guys at the last stage at Martinsville pit late too and get tires and be able to come back up through. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, for sure we'll watch the competition, and, you know, if they're faster than us and we need to come in and make an adjustment, you know, we'll make sure we do that and don't leave anything on the table.
Gotcha. And just for background, have you raced at the Withville track? I didn't know what your familiarity is with that. I
haven't. I ran a bunch of stuff in North Carolina, South Carolina in the past year since we started the dirt late model thing. Did that a little bit too. Our modifieds have been down there more since COVID. But I haven't actually been to Withville. I've seen a lot of video from there, similar to like a Smoky Mountain type track, and you know, kind of similar clay, like I said, to Cherokee and what goes on in Bristol. So I'm looking forward to it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Nathan Solomon. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hey, Stewart, thanks for your time today. Obviously, you got caught up in that wreck at Talladega. So I guess, how has that 3-week layoff between Talladega and Martinsville kind of been beneficial in the sense of just forgetting about it and focusing on Martinsville?
Yeah, you know, a little bit, I guess. We had some really good momentum, you know, throughout the playoffs going into Talladega, and then it is what it is, right? You know, we brought a really fast truck. Our guys did a really good job executing the race, and, you know, I was trying to put ourselves in position to be, you know, in the top 5 in those last 5 laps, just to have a shot at it. And kind of all hell broke loose with Grant and Sheldon there, and we got collected up. But it has been good to have, you know, 3 weeks off, go back modified racing a little bit, let the guys at the shop just kind of take a breath. You know, the first part of the playoffs was pretty wide open for the truck series, so the guys were able to take a breath, you know, just regroup a little bit and really focus on our Martinsville and Phoenix trucks, and put a lot of work into them. So they've been busy with them, and you know, we have 2 good pieces to go for that. So yeah, it's a little bit of a regroup for us.
And you know, how I know you kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but how well do you feel you need to run on Saturday to transfer? So just running top 5, or you know, kind of where do you feel you need to run?
Yeah, I think, I always say like top fives pay the bills. But we need to be in the top 5 in the stages, if not win a stage to make maximum stage points, and then, have a shot to win. The playoffs are all about running up front and winning. We've been in the top 5, we've been close. So hopefully, if we can get a win, that'd be awesome. I believe in our team. I don't believe we have an outside shot. I believe we got to have a fast enough truck to compete with our competitors in the chase. And nothing's out of the question, I don't think, at this point.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go back to Bob Hawkers for a follow-up question. Go ahead, Bob.
Yes, Stuart. So are you stressed out about Saturday afternoon, or have you been through this enough that
I've been through it.
I
I'm not losing sleep over it yet. Maybe Friday night a little bit. Anything can happen in the truck series. I've been through that. I've lost races in the 11th hour. So I'm optimistic. I think I can go in there and try to just try to keep my emotion in check all race long and not get excited if something happens in the first or second stage. And then if we gotta kind of drop the plow at the end and start putting the elbows up, that's what we'll try to do. But so like I said, hopefully we can bring a fast truck. We had a fast truck there at the fall last year. We're able to win a stage, and we'll have a similar package, which I believe we've even refined it to be even better yet. So I hope we'll be fast enough to stay out front and keep guys off my back bumper. That's gonna be the main thing.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, any final questions for Stewart? All right, I think we're good. Thank you again for joining us, and we wish you the best luck this weekend in Martinsville.
All right, thanks everybody, and thank you, Amanda.